What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually going to be taking you guys step by step into how to buy your first rental property. Now this video is about real estate investing and actually investing your money into purchasing a property. This is not wholesaling. This is not flipping. If you're looking to learn more about wholesaling, I want you to do me a favor. Click the information icon in the top right corner of the screen so you can learn a little bit more about wholesaling. I made a quick video on it. I want you to check that out first if you're actually trying to learn about wholesaling. But if not, and you want to buy your first rental property, this video is for you. Before I begin, do me a quick favor, subscribe to this channel, and then leave me a comment down below letting me know that you've subscribed, and I'm going to do my best to reply to all you guys. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. Step number one to buying your first rental property is actually to save up money. And there are two parts involved. You have to have the actual funds or cash available for your down payment. And typically for a home purchase price, you're going to be putting anywhere between 3 to 20% of the purchase price for your down payment. And yes, there are creative ways to put no money down or very little money down, but that's for the minority of people and for the advanced investor. For the vast majority of you guys, you're going to be looking to put 3 to 20% down of the purchase price. So you need money for the down payment, number one, and you also need income. You need some form of consistent income because that is what the lender is going to look at to qualify you for a loan. They want to see at least some form of consistent income for the past 1 to 2 years. And you guys could either be some type of salary W-2 wage earner, or you could be some type of independent contractor who maybe doesn't have the most consistent income, but a lender's going to look at your income and they're going to look over the past 2 years. And if you're an independent contractor, they're going to see, okay, what's the average you've earned every year for the past 2 years. So first step to buying a house, save up your money and focus on building your cash reserve, how much cash you have on hand, and also focus on your income. That's step number one. Step number two to buying your first rental property is going to be build your credit. Now, credit's a very, very important thing and most people overlook it. When a lender looks at you to qualify you for a loan, what they do is they look at your finances, how much money you're making, how much money you have saved up, but they also look at your credit. And they look at your credit because your credit score shows your ability to pay back loans. And if you don't have a great credit score, the lender is going to look at that and say, okay, this person does not pay their loans back very well. I don't want to lend to this guy. Or your credit score could be a high credit score and tell a different story to that lender. Now, I won't speak on how high of a credit score you need because I'm not a lender. I want you to talk to your local lenders about that. But basically, if you have maybe not a perfect credit score, but a semi-decent credit score, or maybe somewhat of a lower credit score, a lender will probably still be able to give you a loan, but they'll probably charge you a higher interest rate because of that. And that's going to waste you a lot of money over the years. So do me a favor, build your credit score. And that's step number two to buying your first rental property. Step number three to buying your first rental property is to get pre-approved. Now, getting pre-approved means talking to a lender, having them look through all your financial documentation, looking at your credit score, looking at your income, looking at how much cash you actually have on hand by looking at your bank statements, and they will do something which is called pre-approving you to purchase a home. Now, the reason why getting pre-approved is step number three after saving your money and building your credit score is because too many people try to start searching for their perfect home before getting pre-approved. And they come across the right home for them, that perfect home, they are absolutely in love with it. And then they go to the lender often, and the lender gives them that pre-approval amount and comes back to them and says, you can't purchase this house, it's too big of a purchase for you. And they're just devastated. So that's why step number three is to get pre-approved first so that you can establish what your true price range is and then start your home search. So that's step number three, get pre-approved. Step number four to buying your first rental property is to start your home search. And you can start your home search, in different ways. The first step I would recommend is to talk to a local realtor. And you want a good realtor who can listen to you, understand what you're looking for, and then work really hard to find the right home for you. And even if you do have a realtor, don't rely solely on them. You want to start searching for your home every single day because that's how you're going to find the best deals. As investors, we want to buy great deals. And in order to do so, you probably want to look for something that requires a little bit of work. You want to find something with minor cosmetic repairs, especially as a beginner. You probably don't want to deal with some massive foundation issue or massive electrical or roof issue. You want to find a home with good bones, but maybe you want to find something where the kitchen's not that updated or where the bathroom's a little ugly and dirty and not modern. Those are the lighter renovations where you get the most out of your money. So look for stuff like that. And that's step number 4, starting your home search. Step number 5 is to make some offers. And when you make offers, expect to make a lot of offers. Don't expect to get your home from your very first offer, especially as an investor when you're likely offering below asking price. Make multiple offers and take a look at everything that's out there. The more homes that you look at, the more likely you're going to be able to spot a good deal. So please stay patient. You may have to make a lot of offers, but when you find that right home, you're going to know it. So that's step number 5, make offers. Once you make your offers and you finally get that one offer accepted, that's when you start escrow. So step number 6 is to start and finish the escrow process. And let me explain what the escrow process entails. So once you get your offer accepted, you're going to want to do inspections on the property. That means bringing out an inspector to inspect the home for you, and they will tell you everything that is wrong with a home. And I highly recommend for all you guys to get an inspection on your first property, especially just as a beginner. You don't really know what you don't know, so you don't know what's wrong with these homes until you get a professional to take a look at it. So I highly recommend you guys to get a professional inspection done before actually purchasing the home. Another thing that happens in escrow is that you get an appraisal value for your home. This means that you get an expert to come out and value the home for you, and they will give you their professional opinion on what they think the home is worth. Now, your lender actually uses that appraisal because the lender is only willing to lend you a certain percentage of the appraised price, not your offer price. So say you offer $200,000 for a home, and the appraisal comes in at $190,000. The lender's gonna say, I will only lend a percentage of this $190,000, not of the $200,000. So this means a couple things. You could either try to negotiate with a seller to drop the price down to that appraised value, or work some sort of negotiation out. There's a lot of things you can do, but that's one example of what to do. Or if you come from a pretty strong financial position, you can actually make up that difference with your down payment. Again, those are only 2 solutions for you. There are a lot of things you could do out there. When you get to that point, just talk to your realtor about that. They'll be able to walk you through the whole thing. So that's step number 6, start and close escrow. Now, once you actually close escrow, you become the official homeowner, which brings me to step number 7, starting your renovations. The first step to starting renovations on your home is to figure out what you even want to do to it. Now, the 2 places I would highly recommend you focus on renovating to get the most out of your money and the best return on your investment would be the kitchen and the bathrooms. You focus on improving those things, you will get the most out of your money, and that is where you should probably start your renovations. I highly recommend you bring out multiple contractors, and I recommend that you tell each one that you have other people bidding on this. That is going to keep them honest and fair. If you only bring out one contractor and you tell them that they're the only contractor you're getting a bid from, they're probably going to inflate the price just a little bit. But if you bring out multiple contractors and you tell each one that you're getting multiple bids for it, they're gonna give you more fair prices because they want the job. For the home I'm flipping right now, I brought out about 6 contractors. And for those 6 contractors, their bids on the exact same job range from $18,000 to $39,000. Now, that's insane. And that's why you bring out multiple contractors, because you never know what people are gonna charge until you bring them out there. Some contractors have more expertise and they see things that others don't. And whatever bid amount they give you to do the renovation, do me a favor, add 20% to that as a buffer, because things pop up on about every single renovation and you want to be prepared to handle those things. So that is step number 7. Do your renovations and bring out your contractors. Which brings me to step number 8. very last step, which is finding your tenant. Finding your tenant is arguably the most important part of this process. Your choice of tenant will make or break your experience as a landlord. Now let me give you all a few tips on finding a great tenant. You have to screen your tenants, and you could go the route of finding a property manager to manage and find your tenants for you, or you could go the route of doing it yourself. I've never hired a property manager, I've always done it myself, but I'm not massive. Like, I'm not a big real estate investor that has a bunch of rentals. If you're going the route of self-managing yourself, here are a couple screening tips to find you the best possible tenant. Number one, make sure they make enough money to afford your rent. Now that's the most important step, because if you have a tenant that doesn't have an income, how do you possibly expect them to pay your rent? What I recommend is finding a tenant who makes 3 times the amount of rent. So if you're planning to charge rent of $1,000 a month, make sure they make at least $3,000 a month. That's a good little buffer to have. And I highly recommend that you verify that the tenant makes what they say they make. You do this by 3 things. You ask for their pay stubs and you look at their pay stubs. You look at their bank statements to see the amount dropping in their bank account every single month. And you verify it by calling their employer to make sure that they actually work there. Number 2 is to make sure that they have decent credit. The credit criteria that I looked at was 650 or above. Now, why did I choose 650 for a credit score? Because I looked at a bunch of banks, and a lot of banks won't lend to people unless their credit score is above 650. So if that's good enough for banks, it's good enough for me. Simple, but it works. Step number 3 is to run a background check. Now, if you're starting to wonder, how do I run a background check on someone, and how do I check their credit score? I have personally used a website called Cozy, and it's a really nice free landlording tool which allows you to check someone's credit and check their background, and they actually have to pay for it themselves if they're applying. So super nice tool to use. I'm not sponsored by Cozy or anything, I just like it and it's a really good service. I highly recommend for all you guys to try that out. Step number 4 is to look at their rental history. You want to find a tenant with great rental history and great landlord references. So you want to ask for their previous addresses and who their landlord was, so that you can call the landlord and verify that they were actually good tenants and that they paid on time, or ask if they had any other issues. So there you have it. Those are the 8 steps to buying your first rental property. If you enjoyed this video and you got a lot out of it, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, and then leave me a comment down below letting me know that you subscribed. Now this is a more educational video, so if you want to see more of a vlog style type of video or like a day in the life, click the playlist on the screen, and those are coming out the first Tuesday of every single month. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you at the next one.